We have discussed very carefully, especially Bhishmaji, who is one of the Pitru Bhakta, and he welcomed Rishi Paulastya. So, who happens to be the disciple, Manasaputra of Brahmaji. And after welcoming him, gave Ashtadravya, and later on, when Paulastya Rishi asked, so what do you want to have? Some wish. Because Brahmaji has sent me to you, so I am ready to fulfill your wish. So Bhishmaji said, look, there is nothing for me to really gain because that you have arrived here and that for my sake Brahmaji has sent, that itself is the best boon that I can think of in my life. But however, as you are here, and that too, the disciple of Brahmaji and also Manasaputra, the son, that's why we say, Sisya vai putra, putra vai sisya iti. However, I would like to know something because I have some doubt. So the doubt was nothing but related to the creation. While discussing this point, in fact, the first point was started beautifully that, look, how when he asked the question, this creation, how did it come? Who created? Where did he stay? That basic question that we raise. So was he heaven? Staying heaven, did he created the earth? Or what did he do? How did he do? Especially if you say Brahmaji. But the opening statement of Paulastya was very careful. So he said, what? Look, this creation is not like that. Brahmaji, not that he has created something out of anything. But remember, Brahmaji is indeed Paramatma, is indeed Brahman. Because of Adhyaropa, superimposition, the word is used very carefully. Now, this individual who created, let us say, now is called as Brahmaji. So that Brahmaji is Paramatma, is Brahman, is indeed Vishnu, is indeed Shiva. That's why when Raudra Rupa comes, becomes Shiva. When Sattva Amsa comes, Vishnu, and Rajasic Amsa comes, called Brahma. So there is no difference between Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. We have discussed this much very carefully in our previous class. However, also, he brought the topic, look, when this creation started, the Ahankara is the cause, and Ahankara was divided into three categories: Sattvic, Rajasic, and Tamasic. And finally, the gross world that we see, what we called as goes through grossification, panchikaranam, and nothing but tamasic ahankar indeed. And we saw a unique aspect in this Purana. Earlier in Vedanta, we saw what? First, we saw all these elements, then related to their gunas. But here we saw first gunas, then related to gunas, we started seeing the elements. So that was unique approach of Padma Purana. That's why Purana is never contradicting, always supports. So we need to look at this angle very carefully. Okay, now I understand all these things. Let us not get into too much. But as Vishmaji was busy in his Nitya Karma, and that too he has to do everyday Sankalpa, Mama Pata, Samasta Durita Kshadvara, Shri Parameswara Prityartham. Then what happens? There is a Kalam, there is a Nimisham, there is a Muhurtam, there is called Ritu, Ayana, Manvantara, all these things are there. Now, definitely, Vishmaji wants to know what is all about it. Every day I do Sankalpa, not only one time, please understand, minimum 3 times, because I have only time, so I do elaborately, not in shortest way, okay? Remember? So when I am doing, and apart from that, there are Vishesha puja are there, Vishesha Japam are there, means all the time I am doing Sankalpa and Sankalpa, but without knowing what are they. Many of you also come under that category once in a blue moon, okay? However, because only when Vishesha puja is done, that time the elaborate Sankalpa, or else Mamapatam, like, in 1 second, pranayam is over, okay? Acharam. I love to see people how fast they do. Don't worry, sometimes also I do, okay? Not that I don't do, okay? What can we do? However, so now he tries to talk few points. We need to understand very carefully. The first point, please try to understand. Our calculation is not based on this time, what we have, this second, minute, hour, and day. So there will be some type of miscalculation. So here the calculation is entirely different. So first it talks about that nimisham. So nimisham means that, how we say that, winkling the eyes. Simultaneously, spontaneously, when you close your eyes. Generally, if we observe around 15 to 20 times in a second, one generally closes the eyes. That is how the modern science says, but it varies, okay? Why it varies, we'll see later on. And we start with nimisham. That's why we say never allow anybody to wait even for a nimisham, not for a second. Okay, the second concept is a very funny concept. So this is one of the destruction of Britishers, because we have to make a note, okay, where they have destroyed the world. So wait for a second is another destructive idea of Britishers. So here we use the word never allow anybody, please understand, wait for even if a nimisham. So in proper translation would be moment. A single moment. So that means what? Please understand. My moment starts differing from others' moment. So that means what? When I am talking to you, that's why this is the minimum qualification of a student. When I am talking to you, my eyes have contact with you. If I close my eyes and look at something or other, that means that nimisham is lost. And moreover, if you observe yourself, when your prana is down, definitely you will waste a lot of nimisham. Can you see this point? Without your knowledge, you will never have eye contact. You will be never aware of what is in front of you. All your nimisham is wasted. That's why when you calculate time with reference to nimisham, you can uplift yourself. Whereas when you calculate the time with reference to second and minute, you will only merely age. That's why in Vedic era, calculation was based on nimisham, not based on this second minute concept. Then we say 15, as we see very carefully, that 15 nimisham becomes 1 kastha, and 30 kastha becomes 1 kala. That 1 kala is 96 seconds. So I told beforehand, sorry. So 1 kala becomes 96 seconds. That's why Bindu Nada Kalatita. the verse we chant. So that kala is here. Okay. So I was telling you, I'll be explaining when time comes. So this kala. So kala means 96 seconds. And interestingly, 30 kalas, 30, okay? 30 kalas, because everything goes in 30. 30 kalas becomes one muhurta. So one muhurta means 48 minutes. So from there, I try to go back with the seconds, okay? So I was calculating all this time, morning onwards, okay? Breaking my head with the calculator. So generally, we know one muhurtam 48 minutes. So from 48 minutes, we are going back. So that means if we do not take minute, leave it as it is. One muhurtam becomes around not around, exactly 6,750 nimisham. So 6,750 nimisham becomes one muhurtam. So that's why we calculate the time, auspicious time, based on muhurtam, this kala. So this muhurtam is good muhurtam. In fact, till now we use. Please find out a muhurtam. For muhurtam means we consider only great thing, good thing, okay? But muhurtam is a time concept. However, now interestingly, 30 muhurtas becomes divaratra, a day and night for a human being. So that means what? If you calculate time, we say one muhurtam 48 seconds into 30 becomes 24 hours. So this is how the concept of day and night they brought in. Now, interestingly, also I want to make it little bit carefully say, this day, what we called as 24 hours, day and night, Divaratri, 12 hours, 12 hours. Now, this 24 is divided into 8 praharas. So, one prahara is 3 hours. That means day is divided into 4 praharas. Night also equally divided into 4 praharas. So, prathama prahara, ditya, titriha, chaturtha, iti. So, there are 4 praharas. And interestingly, 30 days becomes 1 month. And in 1 month, we have 2 paksha, 2 fortnight. So one is Krishna, other one is Shukla. So Krishna means that moon is reducing, and Shukla means moon is growing. So growing moon and declining moon. So these are the 2 very carefully 2 pakshas. That's why Shukla pakshe, Krishna pakshe. And of course, we have 7 varas. I forgot to talk this. 7 days. So 7 days also, which day you are, that is also being included. And when you look at very carefully, now this month, what we say, Masam, now 6 Masam is called as 1 ayana. So that means Eka Varsham has got 2 ayanas. 1 year has got 2 ayanas. Ayana means the moment of sun. Remember, all our calculation is based on moon and sun, not this tick, 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 okay? So we saw whatever you are seeing the calculation, everything is based on moon and sun. Now says, look, sun keeps moving. So 360 days becomes 1 year, and 1 year has got 2 ayanas. So one is called Dakshinayana, other one is called Uttarayana. So Dakshinayana just now got over. Now we are in Uttarayanam. Means if we say very carefully, Dakshinayana becomes what? August to January is called Dakshinayana. Uttarayana becomes January 14th to August 14th or 15th during that time. The Sankranti means Sankramanam takes place. So sun moves from one zodiac sign to another zodiac sign. Based on the sun movement, we say what? This is Dakshinayana or this is Uttarayanam iti. Also, we try to see there are two ways. Also, Chandra movement when the moon is moving from one zodiac sign to another zodiac sign. Also, sun moves from one zodiac sign to another zodiac sign. During Sankalpa time, we also add this, but commonly very few people add this point. However, after this thing comes, remember, when we see this point that 360 days, when it becomes 1 year for a human being, for us, that becomes just 1 day of a God. So 1 year of us becomes 1 day of God. Then question may arise, if 1 day, is it day and night or only day? No, it is day and night. That's why we say Dakshinayana is considered as night of God. And Uttarayanam is considered as day of God. I'll tell you certain practices. I'll be coming to this point also very carefully. That you know that there are many temples till now we follow, that we have, that Lord goes to sleep. That's why when Lord goes to sleep, during those days, we don't do any auspicious work at all. Then again, on Ekadashi day, God will get up, wake up. So we have all these things. And interestingly, I have seen very nicely, very carefully. Now Kumbh Mela also is going on. Especially January 14th. I don't know why and how, especially in South India. On Deepavali day, 4 o'clock, Ganga Snanam is must, but not January 14th, 4 o'clock. So something really somewhere wrong, especially. But if you look at in North India, especially in Himalayas till now, it's an amazing point, this concept. Because this is in the culture, that first, that Uttarayanam is considered as a day. So when Uttarayanam is considered as a day, in fact, I was shocked first time to see January 14th will be super cold in Uttarakhand. Super cold. You cannot really imagine. But around morning 4 o'clock, whole village, small child, elderly people, those who can walk, those who cannot walk, for them they carry the water. Everybody comes to Ganges to take a dip. Morning 4 o'clock with the lantern, with the lamp, torchlight, till now. It's not only in our that area, everywhere, whole belt. In fact, people walk almost like 10, 20 kilometers a night to take bath in the early morning in the Ganges. And why this they do? Because they consider that this is the day for what? Devatas, and this 14th early morning is a Brahma Muhurtam of Devatas. So being the auspicious time Brahma Muhurtam, it is better to take a deep. That's why based on that, remember this Kumbh Mela timing was being fixed. So technically, if you ask me, real Kumbham will start on 29th Mauni Avavasya. But prior to that, already Kumbh has started because it is already Brahma Muhurtam. So that's why I said, remember, 14th January, one is supposed to take bath before sunrise Brahma Muhurtam, not after. This is the point to be noted. However, here also we need to understand now if our 1 year becomes 1 day of God, that's why if you observe this Shraddha ceremony that we do based on this concept, we consider Pitrus, means our forefathers, they have traveled higher lokas. They are no more ghosts. They are not hanging around. Remember, they are not bhutas. They are not pretas. How long they are pretas? That's why as long as there is preta karma, please understand, when a person passes away, what we do? Generally, as long as preta karma, especially till 10th day, what we do? Every day, we feed 3 times. Have you not observed this? Morning, with muddy dress, with wet dress, because oh, we have not brushed the teeth, now let us give one something to brush the teeth. And not only that, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and some people also offer coffee to make sure, because the person who was taking coffee, please observe your house wherever it has happened, because as long as the person is manusham preta, you have to take care of 3 times as a normal way. But once it becomes on 13th day, as the person, the individual starts moving upward, so we consider that the person is no more ordinary jiva. So for that, we calculate that every year of us, of human being, becomes 1 day of that person. So this we called as, Divya Dinam, what we called as Punya Tithi later on. So that's why when we do Shraddham, what English we call death anniversary is wrong. However, to explain, there we offer food to make sure that the jiva, wherever is, getting his food regularly every day. That's why Shraddha to be continued, whether the jiva is born or not, because many people ask the question, Swamiji, already I have given Shraddham, especially in Gaya. So Gaya Shraddham, so there is a Gaya here in Bihar, because Gaya was a beautiful place. In fact, later on, let us not get into controversy. I'm not supposed to talk in Puranas controversy aspect. However, so after this Prayagraj, we do Shraddham, we do our this death related rituals, we offer food in Gaya. And they say once you do Gaya Shraddham, after that, regular Shraddham is not required at all. You can drop it. But if you ask me personally, technically is wrong. Yes, if you do Gaya Shraddham, definitely your forefathers gets a better place. So that means it is not, excuse not to do. Many children not to do, they go to Gaya, so that they have washed their hand there. Please remember, after Gaya Shraddham, one is supposed to continue as long as the person is alive. Shraddham is not to be stopped at any moment until the person takes karma sannyasa. Even if a jnana sannyasi, there are some people call I am jnana sannyasi. Please understand, even if a jnana sannyasi is supposed to do Shraddham, there is no choice. Only a karma sannyasi, sarva karma sannyasi need not do it. Otherwise, till the end, one is supposed to do Shraddham, making sure that I am taking care of my forefathers, parents, especially parents. There is no doubt in it. That's why we have this common Shraddham, because I don't know my grandfathers, grandparents, both father side, mother side, and so many people are involved. I don't know what to do. That's why this Pitru Paksha time, we have 15 days Pitru Paksha. During that time, I offer food to all my forefathers to make sure that they are also getting food every day. So while you can see the cultural background, how it is strongly created, and you know how Britishers destroyed very thoroughly, carefully. However, let us not again get into, he says beautifully that this 360 days, when it becomes one day of God, now interestingly, God also has their way of living. So here is being said that 12,000 years of God is called as 4 yugas. Okay, now we have to get into the calculation mode. 12,000 years of God becomes 4 yugas. So if you calculate, that means what? 1 year is 360. Okay, our 360 years becomes one day of God. So 360 into 12,000, it comes how much? It comes 43 lakhs, means 4,320,000. 4,320,000. So that means this 4 yugas, what we call, is totally 4 lakhs 320,000 years, human years. Okay, year means human years. So that means such a big time. Don't worry. Again, we'll calculate. Also, I was looking at this thing when we were talking about Varsham. Also, Varsham divided into 6 ritus in between. Okay, I forgot. Varsham, 1 year, divided into 6 seasons. Generally, what we call as your spring, summer, rainy, autumn, pre-winter, and winter. So in Sanskrit, we call as Vasanta, Grishma, Varsha, Sarada, Hemanta, and Shishira. I hope I'm not talking very fast. And for this, please refer our agenda. So in our agenda, everything is being given in details except yoga. So maybe next year agenda will calculate yoga concept. So now this is new. Okay, how this yoga concept will be analyzed in the next year based on this class. However, here when you talk about this spring, so generally we look at spring from when. So spring should be called as from March to, no, spring should be called correct. So Vasanta should be March to May. But already going to be February. In fact, this year comes Vasanta Panchami. So there are few things here and there goes. So Vasanta Ritu generally falls from March, mid-March, or like first week, sometimes second week of March to May. So whole April is considered as, but nowadays things have changed. Okay, let's not, but this is how we look at. And of course, summer will be considered in this way because every 2 months, May to July. Varsha, rainy season or monsoon, you can say, comes from July to September. Then Sharada means autumn, that will be from September to November. And Hemanta, pre-winter, comes November to January. And Shishira, winter, January to March. So these are the 6 seasons. Now, when we look at this very carefully, already we were talking about this 4 yugas. So that's the variation I took it. That means we said very carefully that 12,000 years of God becomes 4 yugas. Now question may arise, how these 4 yugas are divided. So what are the 4 yugas? One is Satya, second one Treta, third one Dwapara, and fourth one Kali. So we are in what? Kali Yuga. Okay? And that too Prathama Pada. Don't forget this. Okay? Just first portion of Kali Yuga. So we have still 3. Then how to look at? Very nicely, there are a lot of calculations are there. First of all, it is being said, they divide very carefully, that I was looking at this verse, very nice verse it is said. Okay, good. How they divide? First thing, they look at this way, that not that all the yugas are one and same. So it is being divided into 1, 2, 3, and 4 categories. So that means 1 unit is considered as Kali Yuga. 2 units considered as Dwapara. 3 units Treta. And 4 units called Satya Yuga. So that means what? If 12,000 becomes 4 yugas, now 1,000 year will be considered as Kali Yuga, 2,000 Dwapara, 3,000 Treta, and 4,000 Satya Yuga. So if we calculate accurately, I was calculating sitting here. So 360 into 1,000 Kali Yuga, okay? 360, because our 1 year becomes 1 day for God, and God becomes what? 360 days becomes 1 year. So our 360 years, human years. So 360 into 1,000 becomes what? 360 years. 360,000 years becomes Kali Yuga. Not sufficient, okay? Just write. There are some break is there, okay? I'll add some break. Then, keeping with this calculation, Dwapara would be 360 into 2,000. You can calculate later on, okay? 720,000. Then, Treta Yuga would be 300,000 into 360. So that means 108 4 zeros. And finally, Satya Yuga becomes 4,000 into 360. It becomes what? 1440 and 3 zeros. Means 144 4 zeros. Okay. Now, when we calculate everything, this is the beautiful point comes. It comes actually that 36 lakhs only. Means 3.6 million years. But already we have discussed that 4 yugas is nothing but 4,320,000. So that means 0.72 million. Means 7,20,000 years missing. Where are they? Can you understand? Why I am talking this point? Why I am going to arrive at certain beautiful point? That is what I am going to talk about it. Okay. We have Adhika Masam. Where does this Adhika Masam, extra month? What in English they calculate as February 29th. Okay. So how this Adhika Masam comes? To arrive at that, we have this calculation. Okay. So everything is calculated very carefully. So how it works, please understand. Now in Chatur Yuga, in 4 years of calculation, now we are lacking 7,20,000 years, means 720,000 years, 720,000 years. So how this is being calculated? No problem. There is proper calculation. As you know, from day to night, there is a Sandhya period. So Sandhya means that joining period, what we call dawn and dusk. So night becomes day, day becomes night. And here also, when yuga, one transition takes place from one to other, there is a Sandhya period. And we call as Sandhya and Sandhyamsa. So when a era starts, it has called Sandhya. When era comes to an end, called Sandhyamsa. So that means between two yuga, let us say Dwapara came to an end and Kali started. So there is Sandhyamsa and plus Sandhya. I hope you understand the concept what I'm trying to highlight this point. Like day and night. So when day becomes night, there is a gap called Sandhya. So Sandhya is a combination of day coming to an end, one portion, and another portion that night is going to come. So this mixture of two is called as the Sandhya in short. So here is being calculated Sandhya and Sandhyamsa in every era. And how it works? Same way. So that means if Kali Yuga, if we calculate, Kali Yuga will have 100 year of Sandhya and interestingly 100 year of Sandhyamsa. So that means it's very clear. Also, we need to calculate this very carefully. If 1 year of Sandhya and 1 year of Sandhyamsa, so how to calculate? 1000 year plus 200, 100, 100. So 1200 years into 360. That means 4,32,000 years becomes what? Kali Yuga. Is it clear? Not clear, huh? Okay, once more I would like to say. Repeating, okay? I think I have to give the diagram, okay? Then only you people will understand, okay? I think I'll create the diagram, okay? Or else nothing is going to enter. Okay, still I can quickly say this much do you understand now? 12,000 years, okay? So at least this much you can understand now. 12,000 years of God becomes 4 yugas. Is it clear? So if we say 12,000 into 360, that means what? 4, it will become 4,320,000. Clear? Now that becomes 4 yugas. Yugas got divided indifferently. How? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1,000 year called Kali Yuga, 2,000 Dwapara, 3,000 Treta, and 4,000 Satya. So if we calculate 4, 3, 2, 1 becomes what? It becomes 10,000. Now when it is 10,000, 2,000 are missing. So where are these 2,000? We have to bring it. So 2,000 is a big number, okay? Now we say between this yuga transition, so there is a transition period, what we call as a KTE, or you are in notice period, okay? I think you will understand this language, nothing else. So KT notice period, you don't know what you are going to do, what is going to come, neither you are, taking any responsibility. So bluffing time, okay, you can say. However, joke apart. So that is called Sandhya. But interestingly, this Sandhya has got two aspects. One is called Sandhya, other one is called end of Sandhya. Means end of the yuga and beginning of other yuga. Clear? So how it is being calculated? Because here says Kali Yuga is being given 1000 years. Divya Varsha. 1000 year of God, okay? Remember this, okay? Or else you will go other way around. 1000 year of God, Divya Varsham. Now, 100 years have been given as Sandhya of Kali Yuga. So that means before Kali Yuga starts, you have to add 100 years. So that means 1100 years, okay? Then when Kali Yuga will come to an end, there will be Sandhyamsa, Kali Yuga Ansa. So that becomes 100 years. So that means what? 1200 years becomes Kali Yuga. Is it clear? So 1200 Divya Varsham into 360 becomes what? 4,32,000. Is it clear now? Easier. Now, if we calculate the same thing, Dwapara will be how much? 2000 plus 200, 200. It was 100 and 100. There will be 200 plus 200. Beginning and end 200, 200. That means 2400. Okay. So 2400 into 360. Finally, how much it comes? It will become 8,64,000. Is it clear? Then comes Treta Yuga. So Treta Yuga becomes 3000 plus 300 plus 300. 100, 200, 300, 3000. So that means 3600 into 360 days. Sorry, 360 years. Means it becomes that 12 lakhs means 1,296,000. And finally, Satya Yuga becomes 4,000 plus 4,000 plus, 4,000 plus 400 plus 400 means 4,800. 4,800 into 360 becomes what? Becomes 17 lakhs 28,000. So put together will become what? 43 lakhs 20,000. Now taken care. Now interestingly, also I would like to say, this is what I would like to highlight. So what is Brahmaji role here? So Brahmaji, remember 1000 Chatur Yuga. Okay, 1000 into 4 lakhs, 43 lakhs 20,000. Okay, 1000 into 43. Yes, exactly. No, I made a mistake. Not 43 lakhs. 4,320,000. No, I made a mistake. I am making a big mistake, okay, in calculation. 430 into 40, okay? That's a better word, okay? I'm going crazy now, okay? So that means 432 lakhs, okay? That means better to say 43 million, okay? That is a better word. So I am now calculating, really my words are going wrong. 43, okay, 4320 and 43240, okay? 43240. Better that way you go, okay? So that I am okay. Into 1000 becomes Brahmaji one day. Okay? Okay, why we bring this Brahmaji one day? Because Brahmaji in one day creates 14 Manus. That Manvantara. Now we are in which Manvantara? Vaivaswata Manvantare. So we are in Vaivaswata Manvantara. So Manus are created. So in one day, Brahmaji creates 14 Manus. So if Brahmaji creates 14 Manus, that's why we can calculate in which part we are. We have also calculation. I'll tell you later on. So whether Brahmaji now is young or old, that also we can make out. Every calculation we have, okay? Nothing you can escape. And here he says, look, when Brahmaji, what he does, that he has this 14 Manus he create in one day. So that means, again he says, look, 71 Chaturyuga becomes one Manvantara. So that means one Manu governs for 71 Chaturyuga. And interestingly, remember this Devata concept here, I would like to say. When a new Manu is created, that time Devatas, Saptarshi, including Indra, is created new. So that means, that's why we say Indra Pada is not permanent. Devata status is not permanent. So all Devatas, again, is nothing but a post. So after a certain time, they will lose their post. A new Jiva will take over. So that's why if I do good karma till the next Manvantara, when this Manu goes, next Manu comes, automatically I will become a Indra or some other thing. So that's why karma never goes waste. So karma theory is so strong. Now here he says, look, 1000 Chaturyuga, when it becomes one day of Brahma, now 71 Chaturyugas becomes one Manvantara. So 71 into 14. Because 14 Manus. Now, if we see this, how many years it comes? 994 Chaturyuga comes. You can put the calculator, okay? 71 into 14. So, if I'm right, it becomes 994. Correct? Now, if it is 994, now this 6 Chaturyugas, where is he missing? Where is he gone, that fellow? So it's not joke, okay? How many years? Remember, one yuga, we calculated 432 lakhs. 432 lakhs into 4. No, into 6. Sorry, into 6. So that means what? Like it goes around some 32, 33, okay? It's not a joke. So where does it missing? Now we say, don't worry. When we calculate everything, around 5103 Divya Varsha is missing. So this Divya Varsha is called Adhika Masam. Is it clear? And that's why when we have adhika masam means, please, those who do not know this concept, when we calculate this, sometimes the same masam will be repeated twice. That's why if you observe, especially Puri Jagannath temple, which is very nice, concept comes. So when this, if I'm right, Ashadha, during Ashadha Masam, whenever Ashadha Masam becomes Adhika Masam, that year they will change the deity. A new deity will be made. So this Brahma Parivartanam and all these things they do it. Means the old one will leave, a new deity will come in. So they do this Adhika Masam time only. So whichever year Adhika Masam will fall, during that time they have to do it. That's why whichever year we see Adhika Masam, that Masam means month, okay? That month is very auspicious. That's why Japam, Danam and everything supposed to be done elaborately. I think I have talked a lot. I am tired. Mind is reading, okay? I don't know really how many of you understood, okay? Did it enter in your mind? Now, please understand, when this is Kalam, the most important aspect. Who are we? We are just 100 years, okay? That itself is blessing, okay? Out of 100 years, almost 30 years goes in sleeping. That means 70 years if we are alive, okay? Let us say. Then I can say openly, nowadays, more than 30 hours goes in waiting, standing in the queue. Before birth, I was waiting in the womb, okay? Now, to go to the airport, I have to wait. Security, I have to wait. You understand? Getting into the flight, I have to wait. To come out, I have to wait. Flight has landed, but they have not given the, signal, or the aero bridge not connected. Wait. Now, if you look at, and the best part is to go to also toilet, I have to wait, okay, in common places. So that goes 30 years. Food, you know how long you consume your food. And especially in Italy, okay? Italians are very good in this regard, okay? So after one food, second course, third course, 2 hours together goes. So you will not feel like eating, okay? But however, so how long you waste in food? Now, your worries and anxieties. When you calculate everything, really how much time do you have to live? And in that, we are proud of ourselves. We are fighting. We are proving. We are doing this. We are doing that. That's why the more I narrow myself, the more I limited myself, the more I become arrogant. A narrow thinking person will have arrogance. With a broad thinking, you cannot, need not have arrogance. That's why when you come across a person who is arrogant, you can close your eyes. Person is very narrow-minded. Might have a lot of information, but in reality is not worth at all. With this, today class will stop. Tomorrow we'll see. Om Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.